What's up, everyone? Welcome to the High Passion Podcast Season 2. I'm your host, Daniel K., and we're here with another amazing guest, Ryan McDougall, a.k.a. Muskoka Grower.
What's up, guys? It's nice to be down in Toronto today.
Ryan is a medical cannabis farmer, and he's here to tell us all about that journey. Let's get right into it. Like you said, man, thank you for coming down to Toronto. A bit of a mission for you today, but we made it happen.
Yeah, it's a cold one.
Yeah, it's a bit cold. It's a bit cold, man. We've been chatting for a while. We met up for the first time at Shout Out Canacrawl.
Canacrawl.
Big people, Anthony and Rena showing love to the whole community. And
that was a great time, especially being in the winter.
Especially being their winter event. Yeah. Honestly, it's my favorite event that in the cannabis community that's out there.
I met a lot of people.
Yeah.
And made a lot of good connections for my first one going. And I mean, I'll be back.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure.
Right?
Especially like the spring one's fun. 420 one's going to be a vibe.
Yeah.
I'll be there for sure. So it's
I think I'll have a booth there this time.
Yeah.
With my dab tools and jewelry.
Nice.
And possibly maybe some product too.
Nice. Yes. Let's do it, bro.
Yeah.
We need to see it. We need to see it. The people love it. I know we talked, we'll get into it a bit more, but you're starting to get into the tools and stuff. You gifted me a nice little ornament. I'll try to throw up a picture of that. Respect for that, especially just linking up out at the event like that. It was amazing. That's what we're here for. Those types of connections and the friendships that are made. It's
100%
being out there in person, not just online.
Online is nice. I mean, the internet.
It's fun.
The internet's we've been able to make the connections, but meeting that person and person to person.
Yeah, putting a face to it, getting to smoke a joint. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. So.
All right, well, let's get right into it. Just give the people a little bit of a briefing of, who Muskoka Grower is.
I'm a cannabis user, cannabis grower, medical cannabis. I've been using it for 25 years, well before it was legal. Yeah. I was growing well before it was legal too, using it at a young age, I guess probably to combat anxiety I had that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I was using pot all the way through high school, everything like that, until I could move out and bought my own place. And then it was sort of a bit of growing in the bush.
Yep.
Guerrilla gardening. I had a small little setup in my closet to get my plants going, and then it would be out to the bush.
Old school. I love it, bro. I love it.
And I started meeting people, older growers that way.
Yep.
Sort of met a gentleman that was doing huge outdoor crops. He taught me a lot, and it was wild.
Yeah.
And he taught me some ways that way, and I just sort of brought it all with me. And I was growing outside for the longest time, and it just rolled over into becoming a father and everything like that. And then, the last few years, once everything became legal, I decided, I was going to showcase it online because...
People need the education, man.
Yes.
It's awesome, and it's awesome to see you out there doing it, fighting that battle, especially since it's so hard on the online industry to be in the cannabis space. The way that you're doing it, I've been watching for a while now, and you seem to have got it down. So I love that you're fighting that fight and putting that knowledge out there for people because, man, there's a lot of bullshit out there. So
there is, and I mean, the way I look at it is if we all hold in the knowledge, no one's going to learn something, right? So we need to share it, especially with the times we're in and, the equipment and the nutrients and everything where we're at now. I mean, we've got it made. Yeah,
literally. It's a world from what it was, man. From old school HID, lights hanging from the ceiling, not being able to keep humidity in the room no matter what you did, to LEDs and a small ultrasonic now can run the world, basically.
AI controllers, really. If
you want them.
It's funny because I was just talking with a buddy about that with the HPS and stuff, and I remember I had friends, they would be stealing streetlights.
Yeah.
The bulbs,
right?
Yeah,
because that's what they were.
Yeah.
They were the same lights, and no one wanted to buy them from the store and get followed home.
No, it's funny. So I had stopped by my parents' place after I moved away from Hamilton, where I grew up.
Yeah.
And this was a time when it was still illegal, right?
Yep.
And I was leaving their place a little bit on the weekend, and on the Sunday I went to the end of the street, and there was a new little dispensary type grow store set up.
Okay.
And I walked in there, and the guy pulled out a book with all the seeds, right? And then started asking me if I wanted mushrooms. And I bought some seeds. And when I left that place, I watched behind me
the whole time.
Fucking time to Minden, man. We drove 3 hours and I was going.
Listen, if I was an officer, that would be the first place that I went to watch. So that's exactly what I was thinking too when I went to the grocery store the first time. I was like,
What the?
Are they here? Are they following? Do they know?
Yeah. So I mean, times have changed, right? And it's
Yeah.
really nice. Like, well, I mean, we can walk into a grow store, you can order stuff online, we can get seeds from wherever in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, you can walk into your local dispensary and pick up
And
seeds
pick up
now.
seeds. I know, it's awesome. It's a crazy change in the world. I love it. I've always grown from clones, and seeds is a process. I love it. It's fun,
It's a process.
but it's a process for sure. Sexing your plants, even if they say they're femme, they're not femme.
No.
Check your sex of your plants.
I've heard too many times, oh, it's got balls. I'm 3 weeks into flower.
Yeah. Good luck.
Pick them off, right?
Take that plant out if you can.
Yeah.
If you can afford to, get rid of that plant.
Get that far away, right? But no, it's been a wicked change coming up into where we are now. And yeah, trying to juggle that online personality and sort of or online presence with marijuana and sharing to people. That's sort of where I'm at. Is I want to see everyone else grow a quality medicine for themselves.
Yes.
So if I can share something or if I can learn from another grower, that's the one thing I guess the internet's really brought with bringing everyone together.
Absolutely,
right? So,
absolutely. Have you ever got onto like the Capulator forums and stuff?
yes,
like
I'm part
that?
of the bean
basement.
I'm part of the bean basement.
Bean basement.
I started there because Cap was a huge influence.
Huge influence on me as well.
Yeah, I love his Mac 1. It's probably my favorite.
If you can get the real Mac
Real
1,
yes,
it's a fire genetic.
Yes.
It's just the problem is it's so watered down now. Everybody's got Mac 1.
yeah.
You know, and it's it's so hard with genetics because how do you really know?
Well, you want to, and I mean,
You got to trust the person.
and that's hard. I mean, you look at some of these clone places online that are selling clones, and I can go on there and it's telling me, let's say I can get a GMO cut from whoever.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't know if that's real.
Yeah, and there's no way to test it other than to put it in your garden, grow it out, and compare it to GMO. But then you've just invested all this time, all this money to have something that is possibly subpar.
Yeah, and you don't know that's 4 or 5 months out of your time.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy how much it can take, and that's the only way to tell. So
Yeah.
it's getting genetics, bringing genetics in, especially from seed. But anyway, is a time-consuming process, and it's always a risk that you're taking, especially if you already have something that's working for you, and you're taking that out to put in something else. You're praying that whole time that please be a winner, please at least be good, at least be good. Like
good.
don't be trash.
You want that unicorn.
Of course, everybody wants the unicorn, and especially on a small scale, it's so hard to chase, man. So hard to chase. You gotta have some good people around you.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned is you gotta
100%.
really trust your people.
Yeah.
And if you can get a good circle, like you were saying before, it doesn't help any of us to hold on to things and not share the knowledge. If anybody ever asks how I grow, what I grow with, you've ever got any questions, just send a DM.
Yeah.
Same to Muskoka grower here. It's all love. We'd love to share the information and help in any way we can.
That's what I found the bean basement was good for. What I felt like was happening with the online presence with stuff is someone would post up a picture of their plant having issues and ask a question.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it was like, oh, your plants look like shit. You shouldn't grow.
Hate.
That's not what it's about.
Yes.
They're asking for some help.
Literally.
Right?
Yep.
And say someone would make a wrong comment on it saying, oh, it needs more CalMag. Everyone would attack that person. That's not what it's about. We're all trying to learn.
Yeah.
Right?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. It always makes me laugh because you get that response a lot from newer growers of the CalMag or like the hate, and like experienced growers. They're just like, well, it's going to be really complicated to answer your question because I need to know everything.
Yeah.
I need to know what you're growing in. I need to know what nutrients you're growing with. I need to know your pH levels. What type of lights are you using? What humidity are you running? What temperatures are you doing VPD? Like where do you fall in this? Then I can maybe give you a bit of an answer.
Yeah.
But to just look at a picture and be like, oh, I know it's CalMag. How?
Yeah,
How do you know that?
don't.
You don't. You're just trying to be the guy. You're trying to be the most knowledgeable guy. And it's like, no, show some love, take a second, talk to the person.
Yeah.
and then maybe you can give an actual answer.
Yeah, like you said, you need to ask all these questions. I mean, that's the first thing I always ask when someone hits me up with a plant question. I said, "What medium are you growing in?"
Yeah.
That's usually my first one. I mean, it's not I wouldn't say it's the right answer or
There's so
perfect
many. There's
question,
so many
but
ways
there's
to
so
go.
many-
I think it's a good start though, because soil's way more forgiving. So if they're
Yeah.
growing in soil, it can help you narrow down. And if they're growing in Rockwell, you know that it's probably a pH issue.
Yep. Or cocoa too.
But yeah,
or nutrients.
Cocoa,
yeah.
cocoa. I grow in cocoa a lot.
Yeah.
It's fairly forgiving, but
Cocoa
not to
is.
pH.
No.
Not to pH. If you're dropping your pHs low, you'll have issues.
Yeah.
So, soil's very forgiving to pH.
Very. I a lot of people I talk to with soil, I don't think even pH their water.
Exactly.
And that's where it's like, well, when you get into doing cocoa and you get into hydro, everything else, you got to learn how to read your water, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're like, well, why? Well, cannabis plants only uptake nutrients
In
out of certain
this level, pull up the scale. Here you go. Send a couple pictures.
It's a little more complicated, but it really isn't that hard once you get into it. I find.
Yeah, once you understand the basics, it's fairly simple. And I mean, to anybody starting, if you are running and curious about pHs, just run 6.0 to start and then fluctuate.
Yeah.
Like, learn from there. But if you run 6.0 steady, your plant will be able to get most of what it needs.
I remember looking at that the first time and going, what the fuck?
Yeah, the chart's a
Right?
bit confusing.
And then like,
How do I get it to get everything? Well,
Yeah.
there's no number that gets everything. You have to fluctuate. Like in our hydroponic setup, we will start lower and then go up as we go. But every once in a while, you'll give it a lower one to balance out what's
everything out.
Because the end of the day, sure, you're feeding this, but what's your soil?
yeah.
So there's 2 readings you technically have to take if you want to be 100% accurate.
Yeah.
And it's, it is a science in the end of the day. It's a horticultural science, and man, it's a
It's a fun one. I enjoy
it's a
it.
fun world. I love it personally. But it can get expensive to start monitoring everything.
Good hobby.
There's always a new tool, man. There's always a new tool.
I hate that. Every time and it's bad. You open up the internet or whatever, and all of a sudden it's, oh, look at this, or you see another video of someone doing something new, and you're going, oh, I sort of want that, or I want to bring that into my grow, right?
Yeah. Shout out on that note, family, for saving a lot of people
Oh.
money. The family, some good people, bringing out the
100%.
vac tech, getting rid of your freeze dryers and saving you thousands of dollars.
I made some real nice stuff, all thanks to Justin there. He put my faith in making hash again.
Yeah.
Me and him were chatting the other day, and he was showing me all the stuff he was making. Quickly showed me the VacTech thing, and I was like, yo, what's that? Right? And he explained
Blew
it
my
all.
mind.
Blew my mind. I went out. He showed me how to make the little screen thing.
Yep.
And I was like, I stopped washing hash because I got told you need a freeze dryer.
That's exactly what everyone says.
That's what told.
That's what everyone says.
And I just went, well, fuck, I don't have $1,500 right now to blow. Or the room.
Yep. You need space, you need power,
Everything.
and you need money.
Man, I had the best wash of my life yesterday, sitting out in -25 weather, fucking washing it with bubble bags, right?
bags.
And doing the VacTech.
Yeah. Yeah.
So shout
crazy.
out to him, man.
Big shout out.
That was a huge one for me.
Bring back hash.
Yes. Yes.
Small batch hash too, because with the freeze dryers, those guys are pumping out volume, and I get it.
Yep.
That there's a whole market for that. 100%.
Yep.
Personally, I've heard, I haven't experienced it myself, some people losing terpenes through the freeze dryer.
That's what I've heard. When you look into it now with the VacTech, you're not pulling the terpenes off of it, from what I understand.
And you're not freezing them.
No.
Freezing them.
No. So there is 2 different ways. I mean, I've had chats with other people that make hash, and that's their only way is using freeze dryers.
Yeah.
But once again, like you said, it's on a bigger scale.
And if you have it, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Much love. All the power to you.
Oh, yeah. I wish I had the hashtag set up, the freeze dryer. I wish I had that.
Of course.
But it comes down to it. Sometimes there's smaller scale people.
And that's what allows you to have and will allow us to get more flavors, more variety, not just the, in a production setting, generally speaking, they're focused on numbers.
Yeah.
Right? So they want to get the biggest yield. So they're growing plants specifically just to get biggest yields. They're cutting them early sometimes to get better yields in hash versus a craft grower like you or like a lot of craft growers that are growing for flower in the first place for the flower.
Yeah.
And then you're using properly grown flour to make small batch hash, which is just like I want some of that.
Yeah, they always say, right? Fire in, fire out.
Fire
It's
in,
just-
fire out,
yeah.
not just focused on largest number,
Yeah.
biggest production. Chop it 10 days early so we get more
Or-
yield. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I'm not saying that's wrong.
No, I'm not either.
I'm just saying I just in my heart, I feel like if you properly finish that product, dry it properly, you're going to get a better product in the
Yes.
end. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm
Don't come at me.
I'm there too.
Actually
right?
do it.
And it's hard because once again, you take these production facilities where we have to put out 30 pounds this month
Yeah.
just to package to get out to the legal, like get out to the dispensaries.
Yep.
I can see that, but then you get the craft growers, like you said, like you explained, like there is the big scale where you have to do these big numbers and you have to make big numbers of hash and everything else.
Yep.
But then when you get into the craft stuff, like you said, it's just that a little bit more magical or special.
Yeah, it's honestly
It's,
like baked goods. Put your
Yes.
love into it. That's what it's about. It's
no one turns down your grandmother's cookie.
exactly right.
Right?
So it's exactly that concept in my brain. You know,
Yeah.
someone that hands in. There's not 16 people touching the same product. There's one, maybe two people, and they really love what they're doing if they're still doing this now because it's a hard industry. So,
Really
or not
is.
even an industry if you're a medical grower. It's
Just
medicine.
making medicine for
And
yourself.
which is an amazing thing that we're allowed to do, and I love that we're allowed to do it.
Yeah, it's funny because that's how my kids look at it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't hide it as a parent,
Shouldn't.
and I'm not going to. So they get to really sort of see that I utilize everything
Yeah.
from the plant. So they'll see me harvest. They don't see me trim and everything, but then a couple months later, they'll watch me pull something out of the freezer, and they're going, "What are you doing, Dad?" I'm like, "Well, I'm making some more medicine for myself."
Yeah.
So it's nice to bring them up that way too. Right?
I completely agree. I grew up in a old school hippie mentality from my parents, and that was
nice.
the same. It's the reason why I got into the cannabis industry is because I saw that part of it. It wasn't treated as a bad thing, or it was treated like a beer.
Yeah.
And that actually is something that I wanted to talk to you about. You mentioned when we were talking earlier the correlations between home brewing your beer
Mm-hmm.
to home growing your cannabis.
It's exactly the same. Now, we as a people have taken in the alcohol
Yeah.
industry and take it as a norm.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that we look at as a norm is over-the-counter prescriptions.
Yep.
Someone taking lorazepam, someone taking oxys.
Yep.
That is normal in our society.
Absolutely.
Okay. Why can't cannabis fucking be normal?
Dude, that is why we're here having this convo, because we're trying to fight that stigma, man. It really should be. I always laugh when I'm at like a backyard party
Mhm.
and people are sitting there taking shots, drinking a beer, and then they start judging me for smoking a joint because there's kids at the other. Don't get me wrong, I'm never smoking.
No, you're not
right?
like this.
Not at all.
right?
I'm at the back of the party
Yeah.
away from the kids, but they're like, "Oh, you got to hide that." And I'm like, "Well, are you going to hide your bottle of tequila?"
That's it. You're like me. Like if I go somewhere, yeah, you're allowed to smoke cannabis or whatever. I would always step away to the back.
Always.
To the
I'm
tree
always
line,
trying to be
just-
respectful of
yeah.
other people, man. I'm
So-
not trying to do that to other people that don't want it.
But the
completely.
norm is to have a beer right in front of a
Yeah.
kid and spill it on them, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, or smoke your cigarette right
Yeah.
there, which is even more of a comparable. The amount of times people blow a cigarette in my face, I would never do that
No.
with a joint unless they wanted it.
Unless they ask for it.
That's a whole different story,
Yeah.
but like it's crazy how the correlation is so clear to people like us, but then they could just be like, no, it's not acceptable. I'm like,
And it's sort of
to
getting
each
that
their own, I
way.
guess. But
To each their own. And I try to explain to people too when I use something like this. This is me using medicine, so this
Yes.
helps me slow my mind down. No different than them taking a pill in the morning for their ADHD. Someone
Yeah.
says you're gonna smoke a joint, you're gonna hop in your car, and you're gonna drive. No, I'm not going to because
Yeah.
I'm fucking high as shit, and I don't feel like driving high as shit.
there you go.
Right?
There you go.
An hour later, when I'm not high as shit,
Yep.
yeah, maybe I'll go into town. But that's no different than you taking a fucking oxy.
So that's what I was going to say. And when I was back in the day working for Lowe's, it was an argument that I got into multiple times because I have my medical permit.
Yeah.
And they would come at me for smelling like cannabis. And I'm like, well, half of these guys are popping Percocets just so they can walk around. So why does it matter that I smoked a joint before I came into work?
Yeah.
Am I doing my job? Yes. I'm not operating heavy machinery while I'm stoned.
Nope.
I don't do that. I'm more educated than that, and to be honest. It's not worth it. And then, yeah, I just never understood why they were so.
I don't know.
I always been like, maybe it's just the smell, but
I think it's maybe
also the stigma.
It is a stigma. I mean, it was really frowned upon and looked at bad when it was not legal, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the half of it. It is coming around, and now what I try to really base it on is what we just talked about. Like when someone says to me, "Oh, you smoked a joint on your lunch break." Well, yeah, I did. You took your Percocet first thing this morning. They're like, "Yeah, I did." I'm like,
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I couldn't operate off the Percocet.
No, I couldn't do my job on a Percocet, but hey, it's perfectly fine in society for you to take that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
and it's always that one specifically has always bugged me because I've taken a Percocet before and I would not be functioning properly.
My doctor gave me lorazepam for anxiety.
Yeah.
I remember I was taking it, and like the second day, I was like, I got no fucking feelings.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy, but I'm just this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No up or down. I went back. I said, I can't do this. And he says, why? I said, I got a life.
Yeah.
I want to feel emotions.
Dude, that was me with Vyvanse for my ADHD.
Yeah.
So I was on that stuff, and don't get me wrong, it helped me a lot while I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came out of school, I realized, and I'm an outlier for ADHD from what I understand, but for me, I can use cannabis to take the edge off of it and still be myself. When I find it gets bad, I'm doing way more tapping, I'm becoming a bit more annoying to the people. I'll smoke a little spliff, and it'll at least take that edge off with me still being me. With the Vyvanse, I wasn't me.
No,
it just took that away from me, that, I don't know, specialness.
it does. And I think I actually had this conversation with my neighbor the other day with things, and the biggest one was like, so when people say, oh, you're getting stoned and that's your medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. To the regular person, they fucking smoke a joint and they don't smoke like we do or whatever.
Yeah.
They're high as a fucking kite off 3 puffs.
Yep.
Okay. So I have a level, and we all have a level, you know? I have a level where I function with cannabis.
Yes.
And then I have another level, and it's called the Friday night or Saturday night level.
Where I go to sleep off of cannabis.
That's when we use a lot of cannabis.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I think really just trying to change everything and change the norm. That is why I'm not trying to hide it.
Yeah.
From my kids, I'm trying to treat it the same thing as alcohol, because I'm sure you were the same way growing up as a kid. You'd go over to your friends' parents, and nothing against Italians, but my buddy's Italian dad always used to brew wine in the basement.
Yep.
And I mean, we were around it. What's different than having a fucking plant in the corner?
In my opinion, nothing.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. It's just how it should be. It's amazing. Speaking of that, I'm going through it right now. As you can see, I haven't smoked yet.
No worries.
I just came back from a trip, and I'm just finished a tolerance break. And I smoked a joint with my fiance the other night, and I was literally like, "Is this how you feel every time you smoke?" Because she doesn't smoke a lot. So she's like, "Yes," and I was like, "Okay, I can understand why someone wouldn't drive feeling like this, because I wouldn't drive feeling like that. I can understand why, yeah, if I smoked and I felt like that every day, I wouldn't be functional."
Well, put it this way. I'd asked myself this before. What I was drinking. I don't drink anymore. I don't have a thing against drinking. It's just I wasn't a good drunk. Simple as that.
Yeah.
If I smoke 2 joints, I'm probably not going to want to get in the car because I'm so fucking high. And I'm going to tell myself that. And I'm going to fucking sit on the couch and watch a TV, maybe order a pizza.
Yep.
If I drank 6 beers and someone said, hey, let's go to the local bar.
You'd think it was a good idea.
Let's go, man.
Yes.
Hop right in the car, boom, to the fucking bar.
Impaired judgment.
Yeah. Drink my face off and probably try to drive home.
Yep.
Just because I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah, because that's just the way the brain seems to work.
With booze. That was just, you know.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. For you, at what point did you start smoking? You said you started smoking younger?
Yeah, I started smoking. I was about 15 when I first tried it with some friends.
It's a good age.
Yeah.
Not for everybody else.
I shouldn't say that 'cause my kids are getting to be around that age, right? But no, I was 15. I tried it the first time with my friends. I think I was about grade 8, so maybe 15, 14. And then after that, as soon as I hit high school, it was that's when I was using it all the
You
time.
became you became a stoner.
Yeah, I had a way better connection. You know, I had someone local I could get it from all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's when it was like, okay, it's on. And I guess that's when I was using it to really
And unknowingly help you treat your
social
anxieties, which I mean, I've always said how awesome it is and how many friends I've made smoking a joint,
Yes.
you know, that I wouldn't have made any other way if people from completely different walks of life. But
100%.
we met in that fucking forest smoking some joints and friends to this day.
Yep.
You know, so it's awesome how it creates that.
Yeah.
And it can break down those walls, you know?
It really does. It breaks down a lot of stigmas. There's so much to it, you know. And I noticed that, it's funny you brought that up, because I noticed that this year when I went to Tall Pines concert.
Okay, yes.
And I rolled a great big cross joint just for
Beautiful.
Yeah, just to bring, because it was a concert. And I lit it up. Me and Troy were smoking it, and I said, "Fuck, I got to take this back to the smoking section that they had set up, because Casa did the first consumption lounge,
Awesome.
right? The first
Awesome.
legal consumption lounge." So
That's crazy. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
Big shout out, Casa
Casa did
That's
it right.
huge.
Katie did an amazing job setting it all up. So, anyways, on the way back with walking with this cross joint, I stopped and passed it out to every single person, and it was people from 20 years old all the way up to 70.
Yep.
And when I got back to the smoking section, I thought, fuck, that's what it was all about right there.
Yep. It really is, man. It really is. Like,
Right.
you'll bring the anime heads together. You'll bring the elderly together. I was smoking a joint at the CNE, and same type of thing. I'm listening to the music, smoking a joint, and this older man walks up beside me. He's like, "Is this the smoking section?" And he pulls out one of those old school doobies with no filter and just the press at the end,
Yep, just
rolled in a player's paper or something like
Yeah.
that, the thick papers. And I was like, that's exactly what my parents smoked when I was growing up. How are you, man? And we had a 30-minute conversation listening to music that I would never have talked to that person without cannabis.
And that's it. It's
You
just
know?
that simple. It's funny that you said that, because the gentleman I work with, he's about 70 now.
Yeah.
And that's what he likes, the export A's.
Oh, that's exactly what he was using. The
blue-
export
green
A's.
export A's
So
or whatever.
my parents rolled with players, but he's like, "Oh no, they're export A's."
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly the same. It'll show up and it's a little pressed in, and yeah.
It looks like paper.
It looks like part of my notebook, right?
Too funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what are you smoking on there? Is that some of your stuff?
This is the last of some purple gas I grew.
Nice. It's burning really nice there.
Yeah, I was trying to roll a Cadagar last night, but this stuff didn't like to stick together too well.
Got you.
So I just ended up rolling a spliff instead, right?
It's burning nice. It's a big doink there.
It's just I didn't get to smoke for 2 hours in the car.
In the
Right?
drive.
I had to drive. My wife's driving me home.
There you go.
so,
There you go.
yeah.
See, responsible consumption.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I give her a shout out. She's been awesome with this. So she knew I was coming down today to see you guys,
Yeah.
and she knew I was taking a trip over to Unit 15.
Yes.
So she was, I'm coming down. If I got to go do stuff, she usually comes down. She'll drive me home after.
Yeah.
Just responsible consumption.
Absolutely. I try to do the same, especially when like I'm going down to Canacrawl.
Yeah.
Because I know what that day is going to be like. I'm going to eat every edible they hand me, and I'm going to smoke every joint around.
Well, it's funny when you walk into the place and you go buy some booze and everyone's like, here's a
Here,
sample
try.
gummy.
Yeah, you're like, okay,
And
sure.
you're like, what's this? Oh, 50 milligrams.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you do it 16 times.
Yeah, you're going, what, 1,600 milligrams? Like,
Dude, at the end of the day, it's always fun to bring friends there. If you're coming to Canacrawl, bring your friends.
gotta make it,
bring your friends, because it's fun to see them experience it for the first time.
my eyes just did this as soon as I walked in. Right when you get through the first hall, and I was like, oh,
This is amazing.
This is so cool.
yeah, it's beautiful. So at what point did you go from smoker to grower? Started smoking around 14, 15.
Yeah,
you
14,
said?
15, I started. So I just bought weed throughout high school, really. The odd time, the odd summer, me and my buddies, we found some seeds somewhere and we tried to grow.
Yeah.
Sort of, we'll throw them in the forest here. You didn't
And
really
hope.
have, yeah. So after I moved out, when I was about 20 is when I had my own place, right? So
That's what it takes.
yeah, so I was able to start, once again, it was some seeds from a friend, start
Nice.
some stuff and just keep them out. So it was always sort of that guerrilla gardening. You never knew really what strain you had.
Or if it was going to make it to the end.
Yeah. So it was a lot of that, right? Until finally I was like, fuck it, I'm taking everything inside.
You ever get ripped for some plants?
I got some stories. I've been ripped.
Yeah, same.
I've
The guerrilla
been.
gardening was bad for that.
I've had run-in with deer hunters.
Ooh,
I've had run-ins. We had a huge grow where I was, right beside mine. 3,000 plants. Not mine.
yep,
This was some Asians.
yep.
Cops came in
And hit them.
and hit them, and everything got shut down. Man, it was crazy. They had Highway 118 shut down, looking for these guys running up and down the highway.
Wow.
Um, and luckily we didn't get hit.
Yeah,
It was their crop, and I left that crop.
Of
I
course,
didn't
gone.
fucking
Not
take it.
not worth it. Not worth it.
You know, it was maybe 30 plants. Like, it wasn't anything big.
It's not worth it.
The other guy I learned growing from, he showed up to my place one night, fucking pitch white. He was bringing over weed. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I was in the crop, and the fucking cops came in a helicopter. And it was out. Like, I wasn't there. It wasn't my crop. It was his, right?
Yeah.
And that really gets you going when you're...
Absolutely. Even if the chopper wasn't for you, you're always gonna think it was.
Yeah, so as soon as I got away from that guerrilla gardening, and I left Minden and moved over to my place where I am now in Muskoka, that's when I decided I'll take everything inside.
Yeah.
And it's a little more controlled inside. I mean...
I absolutely agree. I only grow indoor now just because of all the male plants out there, and the mildew is every year everybody calling me at the end of the season, how do I get rid of mildew, how do I deal with this, because everything's covered in mildew, and I'm just like, it's at this point it's too late. Like, you know, you can use the old Jorge Cervantes method and wash it, but like, I'm not a huge fan of that.
No.
I don't like wetting my weed more. I don't like changing the flavor profile of my terpenes that the plant produced. I like growing clean weed, and generally speaking, to do that with our climate here, you got to be inside. Our falls are too damp, and it's just too long of a season for them. Doesn't seem to work unless you can do like a hybrid. You know, if you can set up a tent, but needs to have airflow. You need to be able to control these things. You know, you're opening up more expenses to your outdoor.
Yeah.
But basically build a greenhouse. Sure, it would be beautiful outdoor. I'd love to do a hybrid method eventually.
Yeah, same.
I don't have land, so indoor was my only option.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, I've done outdoor, and I still do outdoor to this day.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I don't take my outdoor serious. I finally found a good spot where I can do some outdoor, and I don't have issues. Now, that was the hard one, because you named it all. And I got into some fast flowering seeds last year.
Yep.
From Seedsman.
Yep.
And it finished mid-September. And
like auto flowers.
No, fast flowers.
I've never heard of that.
So it's a cross of auto flowers with regular photo flowers.
Interesting.
And it just speeds it up enough that it's finishing at the end of September and not into October.
So then you can actually grow here.
I got a good harvest. I just did them in small pots to see what was going to happen.
What's up.
And it worked. So next year I'm going to take them to my bigger plot.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's a great idea, man. It's because that is our issue, is how our falls are. You know, no one gets PM until they're always like, oh, it wasn't here. It wasn't here. And I'm like, yes, it's there because the temperatures and the humidity are hitting that point where PM just spreads rapidly. And then the other plants that were hosting it are dying.
Yeah.
So now it's got to go somewhere.
We spent 4 or 5 months getting to this point, right? Like, it's just...
Yeah. And then again, there's so many more people growing, so there's so much more of that out there as well, I think. Like I said, how many of your neighbors are possibly growing and have a field of male plants?
I had my one guy down the street tell me he used to grow for, I won't say who, for all these people.
Yep.
And midsummer, he sends me a photo and he says, is this a male? And it's a fucking male plant with balls and everything. And he's not even a kilometer away from me.
Yeah. Pollen travels like multiple miles on a cool breeze, on a slight breeze.
Yeah.
So like, it scares me. I'm like, I'm going to go inside. That's fine. Indoor growing's where it's from.
Yeah. Acue Genetics. So Dave there from Acue, he had summed it up. I ran into some issues with some leaf sepatory.
Okay.
On my one crop, wiped out my outdoor crop because of it. And what he had said to me, he says, that's exactly why I grow inside.
For the people, want to tell them what leaf sepatory is?
Leaf sepatory is like a brown rust spots on your leaves, and then it attacks into the flowers and it pulls nutrition out of the plants and everything, and it is almost unfucking beatable.
Yeah, it's a bitch to deal with.
It is. I cut down my crop and I put that outdoor spot on hold.
Yeah.
And it's been 2 years, so hopefully next year it'll be
can
okay.
hit it. Yeah.
And I think it was from the oak trees
Oh, interesting.
and the other bushes around.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
And I ran.
and if you went from seeds.
I went from seeds.
Yeah, so it's not from your cuts.
No, and
usually that's where it comes from.
And I had some special seeds in there too that I lost, and
painful.
But it happens.
Yeah, that's part of the process.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, man. It's you could put all this time, you'd spend $1,000 on seeds, and
it happens.
They could be garbage, or something could happen to make them garbage,
Yeah.
which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point did you go ahead and be like, okay, I want to get my ACMPR. I want this to all be legit so we can go forward.
That rolled into when I had kids.
Yes.
So my wife, she doesn't use cannabis.
Okay.
That's just not her thing.
Yeah.
Supports it with me.
Awesome that she's a supporter still.
Yeah. But we had a little bit of a discussion, and what worried me was when you start looking at child laws and shit like that.
Yep.
And CIS and shit like that.
Absolutely.
Last thing I would ever want is for the police to show up to my place and have an issue with me growing cannabis or something because my kids were there.
Yeah.
Right? So I just thought, well, since it's a medicine to me and everything, I might as well go forward, and getting the license was simple.
Yeah. It really is.
I can license my place as my grow. So everything's registered. You know how it is with Health Canada and everything like that. And then that way it takes the edge off things.
Absolutely.
People don't have to call me a bad father. People don't, I don't get that stigma, right?
Yeah.
Because I go, everything is legal and everything is away from my children.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's the way to do it. You know, you're doing it the right way. And you're also educating your children about it, which is good. Education is what's going to keep them either away from it or safe with it. You know what I mean? Rather than just going out and trying to figure it out on their own. I always have respect for my parents because even though back then it was legal, they would rather me be consuming in a safe place at home than out at a park somewhere
100%.
where they'll have no idea what can happen, right? So it's
worry
level
now,
of safety.
Yeah, it's a safety, and it's the same thing. I feel the same. If my kids want to use cannabis down the lines, and say they come to me and say, "Hey, Dad, I want to try smoking weed or something," by all means, I'm gonna have that chat and cross that line. Of
course.
But what worries me nowadays, especially with everything else out there, is if they're gonna smoke weed, I sort of want them to have my stuff.
I completely agree, man. I want my family to smoke clean, quality cannabis. And the only way to know that it's that for sure is that you grew it or somebody else that their process grew it, right? So,
and it's such a catch-22.
It is. It really is. I say the same thing with my food eventually. I'm hoping one day I can be in a community that it's like I get my cow from buddy down the street, and I get my pig from buddy down the street that way, and I get my cannabis from myself or the farmer that lives next door, and that way you can just know what you're consuming. And it's an idealistic world, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's something that I want to slowly try to build, at least for myself.
I could see that.
And my family.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I mean, we started looking that way with veggies and stuff.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of room at our place, so we do a veggie plot every year. And it's funny, I sit back in the summers and I watch my kids eat beans right off the fucking plants. And I go, okay, cool, it works.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is, I think we can get there. And I think it's going to be just community building with a bunch of people. And then you'll start seeing community gardens and stuff pop up.
Which would be really cool.
Yeah.
I love community gardens. They're awesome. We have a community greenhouse just down the street here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but the plots are always full. And it's only they close down in the summer because they can't cool it enough.
Oh, yeah. So, it just gets too hot.
Yeah, too much money, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Running that much power for a community garden. I get why they shut it down, but also let me grow.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Okay, I'm gonna roll up some of this.
No
This is some platinum Kush that we grew.
Ooh, that smells great. You guys do a really nice job.
Thank you.
That
You.
is gorgeous. It was like the other pink stuff you put in front of me too.
Yeah, this is the pink gas there.
I brought all my own pre-rolls.
That's all good. I'll send you home with a baggie of that
Oh
for
man,
sure.
this stuff smelled great too.
Yeah, it's a heavy indica, so being in my position right now in a tolerance
Ooh.
break, I'm gonna stay away from that.
You guys have done a good job on that stuff.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's
I really
great.
like that. Being a grower, I can get access to fresh cannabis as well, which I think is a huge thing that we're missing on the legal side. Is the time that it takes to get from a company that can put a lot of work in, do all the stuff right, check all the boxes, but then it goes back and goes into the back of a delivery truck in the middle of the summer for hours at 30 plus degrees, degrading the THC, and then sits in the back of a dispensary that possibly doesn't have a cold room where they store their product.
No, most of it's just on a shelf.
And then it's there for who knows how long before it gets to the consumer. So that's why I never judge too harshly on the legal side, because of the hoops they have to jump through. If my cannabis had to go through a lot of that,
yes,
I have no idea how it would look or consume on the end of that.
It's so hard, and I've tried to pick apart the legal industry just because I was burned a few times. Like, obviously, legal industry kicks up. You're like, great, I can go to the local dispensary and grab whatever flavor I want. So you go in there, you don't know the fucking companies. I'm not going to name the companies that I got burned by. Grabbed a couple bags, get home, fucking brown weed. Smells like ammonia. Been through fucking radiation. Do you think I'm getting my money back?
Very unlikely.
Yeah.
It's very here and there.
Yeah.
I've even seen stories of people having straight up mold in their cannabis, sending pictures to the company, and they're like, So it's rough. It's rough. Like I said, originally I had it out for everybody on the legal side because I was like, this makes no sense. The product is every product that I bought at that point was garbage trash for somebody that can consume fresh cannabis. But it is about access to product and the amount of I've seen at events quality cannabis from the companies directly themselves, but then on the shelf at the dispensary it's not the same.
No,
I can't really blame the companies for that.
No,
it's the system.
It is. And the thing that kills it the most, and I hate talking about this, but this one fucking bothers me the most with the legal shit, is all these fucking companies that pop out these fucking infused pre-rolls.
Oh, yes.
When we know it's all just garbage fucking shakes, sprayed with fucking shit terps.
Yup.
And pumped out.
Buddy, floor sweepings is what I call it.
And then go to tell you that it's fucking...
the best.
The best flower, and it's only flower. So the other one that kills me too is I was at this fucking party and there's these people and they've got, I think they're Jeters. They're like this big. The joint's like this fucking
like the 0.5's not even.
Not even, it's 0.3.
Yep.
And they're fucking smoking this 0.3 and passing it between like 4 people. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, this is just...
It's like, it's full of shatter and it's full of this, it's full of this. And I'm like, sounds like they're full of shit.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck. So it made me really want to dive deeper into the cannabis with that because I got burned a lot. And so I found you walk into a dispensary and the norm was, oh, you're looking for the highest THC stuff we got. This stuff has 45% THC. It's what you want. And I'm like, I didn't even open my mouth yet, man.
Yes. Yeah.
That was the norm. So
it is what they were pushing on the bud tenders as well.
I think so.
It was 100% because that's what... It's the business side of things. They need metrics and they want to be able to be like, okay, the THC high percentage that sells, so we're going to demand more of that. And then because of that, it's a, what do you call it? Snowball effect. Where it's created these unrealistic numbers, unrealistic expectations. We see different test results on the same product from different labs. So it's, don't go after THC. You don't walk into the LCBO and ask for the highest percentage alcohol, or you'd all be drinking Everclear. So
it's true. It's 100% true.
It's true. And if it wasn't Everclear, it'd be Ray and Nephew, and that's strong.
I always like someone says to me that they'd always say, "Oh, well, don't you look for high THC?" I said, "Yeah, I do like stuff with high THC, but I said I also want to know where my terp numbers are at."
Terpenes, I personally believe terpenes have more of an effect than the THC itself.
They do.
The way they complement the THC, don't get me wrong.
That's exactly where it is. So THC gets you high,
Yeah.
and I always say the terpenes does your story.
I love that. That makes complete sense to me. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm fucking stoned. Well, you're this high, but the next 2 hours is that roller coaster of what those terpenes,
what type of high,
and cannabinoids and everything that's in there acts.
Absolutely. So like this platinum itself, like I'll smoke this first thing in the morning and I'll be able to go about my day. If I smoked a joint of that pink gas right when I woke up, it'd be a really hard wake up.
And this is nice. Now, this is nice as medical users and stuff like that we have so many different flavors. That's
why I was excited for the legal industry. But then again, not to just gripe on the legal industry so much, you have companies just changing the names willy-nilly and not giving you actual reports on what it is. So even if I find something that I like, I can't either recreate it myself or like, okay, yes, this company's out of stock, but this company has that same strain, so let's try it from that company. And then you try it, and it's a completely different high, and you're just like, somebody's lying.
Yeah, there's something somewhere. And I think a lot of that did happen, passing names around and things like that way back when.
Yeah.
A few names really stuck with it. But I found even a couple people I've had clones from or something, they'd be like, oh, so I had a guy give me a bag of fucking quarter pound of Blue Dream.
Okay.
And it was the first time I ever had Blue Dream. Shittiest fucking weed I've ever smoked in my life. And it made me never want to try Blue Dream again.
Yep.
I tried some Blue Dream the other day.
There's some nice Blue Dream out there.
It was fucking great.
Yeah. So that is the problem, you know, and that's always been a problem. But now the legal side's doing the same thing. And it's like, I don't get it. I thought the whole idea was to create uniform consumption.
Yes.
So we know what we're getting. And now it's just the same thing. It just feels like I'm grabbing a nickel bag from Buddy down the street because I really don't know what's in it.
And that's the way it's going to feel. There are a few companies, 100% I'll talk high about on the legal market that are doing it right.
Yes, shout them out, bro.
You know, Unit 15 is one.
Yes.
Same with 67 Sins.
67 Sins, I've heard a lot of good things about.
Their fucking stuff is amazing.
Nice.
Unit 15 is doing, and these are all the craft small grows, right?
It makes sense.
It goes. Now the other one that I've enjoyed is a bit of the black market. Some of their stuff
I've enjoyed black market.
I haven't had much bad stuff, but I don't want to start naming bad companies.
Yeah.
So these couple companies that I've tried, those are the ones I stick with.
Yeah.
If I have to walk in and I need a bag or I want a pre-roll.
Yeah. I like it, bro. I've heard a lot of the same. Black market, 67 Sins, Unit 15. I've tried some good product from. Even their pre-roll that I tried, I was actually impressed with.
Yeah.
Which pre-rolls do not generally impress me. So
I had I think it's Victoria Cannabis Companies.
Okay.
So they had a Palamo skunk.
Okay.
I got a pre-rolled when I was doing this Casa Cantaloupe thing, and I'm like, okay, a skunk.
Yay.
We all know skunk. Everyone's looking for skunk.
Yeah.
I fired the thing up and smoked it, and fuck, it had some skunk to it.
Wow. Which is great to see on the legal side.
Yeah, like I was not expecting it, and I literally stepped back and went, holy fuck. This has some skunk to it.
Some skunk to it.
Yeah.
That's like, I tried a gas from the legal side, and I can't remember. Oh, I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
Because I don't like talking bad about companies either for no reason.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a gas. It's called a pink gas or pink something. And I was just like, there's no pink in this, you know? And I'm just like, I get it. You're trying to market to the Toronto people, but then like, you have to actually back it up.
Well, I know. And it's so hard. You mean, you know how things go through in stages. Like we were just talking, like everyone loves pink down in Toronto.
Yeah. Go out to LA, you can't sell pink at all.
No. Afghan bull rider that was around.
Yeah.
For the longest time.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted it.
Yeah.
Right? It's
hard.
A market.
It's a full market. Sorry.
No worries. And it's funny you said that because the one owner of the dispensary we were chatting, he said to me, he says, I can get strains that come in and they're fucking lemon, icing, raspberry, fruit, blah, 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 and then they fly off the shelf. Because the chicks love that shit.
Yep,
right?
yep. And the lighter consumers as well.
I get it.
I absolutely get it. And that is a big part of the market. So we have to provide that too.
Yeah.
But the OGs are still here looking for product from that side that we
Yeah.
can consume on a regular basis.
Yeah, everyone loves, like, I mean, a lot of the OGs, like you said, everyone loves a good Kush. Everyone
Yeah.
loves a good pink, right?
But from my experience, my opinion, one of the reasons those things aren't grown by the legal companies is just the whole business side of it.
Yeah.
Pinks are harder to grow. They're more susceptible to diseases like powdered mildew. They're more susceptible to bugs. They seem to like them a little bit more, and you usually get a lower yield.
Yep.
So all of these things just deter big companies from doing it. You have to figure it out, and it takes years and years to figure it out. I'm still playing around with it every once in a while. It's like, what happened? These pinks are so hard to deal with, man. You give me a hybrid and I'll crush 3 pounds of light.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you can figure it out. You get a good strain,
And
that's a cash crop.
I'll crush it.
Yeah.
But that's
these
not what
finicky
people
ones.
want, from on that side of the market.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Girl Scout cookies,
Yep.
originally when it came out, and it looked like shit, and it didn't produce much, but
Yep.
it was special.
Yeah, Skittles, same type of thing.
It looks like shit.
Grows like shit, looks like shit.
Has amazing terps.
Yields not great.
No.
So unless you have that price point behind it, it's really hard to.
Like the one I found, like, I don't know about you, but Oreos.
Yeah.
Great bag appeal, great look. It didn't smoke. Like, it got me stoned, but
Yep. I never liked the Oreos
it just
personally.
wasn't there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't found a good gelato that I like either. Personally, I
Oh.
went so big, but that's probably because we never got the real one down here. That's my opinion.
That's what I feel.
I feel that too, because why would it be so big if it wasn't good? But who knows? What made you decide to take it to the online presence, to become Muskoka grower and start, educating people?
Well, I decided to just fucking roll with doing some funny weed shit.
Yeah.
And start posting my grows. I got picked up by Kronk to test their nutrients.
Okay. Yeah. That was the next question. So we'll combine them.
Yeah. So that was sort of the first thing. I started working with Kronk doing some nutrient testing, and
Nice.
I had to post online. So I thought, same time, I'll start doing videos.
Makes sense.
Sort of came up with this whole idea in my head. I would do these wake and bakes.
Yeah.
I said to my wife, fuck, I'm going to do this for a year. Just so I don't like to start something
And not follow through.
Yeah. So I did them for a year, and great response. Same with all my growing, started networking, and I just found this whole online community.
Yeah.
And as soon as I found that and started connecting with people, it really pushed me. And I enjoyed doing online content, I found. Like, I still enjoy filming movies for myself, filming my content. So that was another hobby I got into.
Absolutely.
And it just sort of rolled with it, and I just kept going with it, man.
I love it.
And I thought, fuck, any stupid idea I came up with, let's throw
Just
it out
throw
there.
it out there.
Let's fucking throw it out there.
Throw it out there. Why not, though? Why not?
Mini
And you're
bucket
having
challenge
fun.
is
So that was the
the-
whole next topic. Like, bro, I didn't want to say it because you just said stupid idea.
Mini
and
bucket.
I don't think it's a stupid
No, I
idea.
don't.
I think it's an amazing idea that you came up with, because you're linking the entire community, and you're creating an actual platform where you're basically recreating the Bean Basement, in my opinion.
Pretty much
on a
it's-
different system. You know what I mean? And you're drawing in a whole nother crowd that wants to do this.
Yes.
And you're sharing so much education.
And that's the coolest thing. Yesterday morning in the group chat that we have, like, I get up every morning, I'm saying, good morning to everyone. Someone throws up a photo of their plant. They're having issues like we were talking about,
Yes.
with leaves curling. 4 or 5 growers all hopped in right away to help that guy out. And these are growers from all over the world that are exceptional, like
Growers.
really good growers. And then all of a sudden the chat goes from that to talking about dogs to this and that. So it's created this community and brought
Love it.
everyone together. The mini bucket was just this idea, I was stoned waiting in line at Canadian Tire, and I went, fuck, I'm going to grow a cannabis plant in this.
The small little
Yeah.
ornamental buckets.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, let's grow a cannabis plant in this. And my wife said, really? And I said, yeah, I'm going to go home and I'll post it on the internet and see
Yeah.
if anyone's dumb enough to join me. Like, it was just a dumb idea, and it took off.
Dude, I saw the
Yeah.
feedback right away. If I had the space to put up, I'd be in that challenge too. 100%. If I still had my little tent, I would be rocking right with you, because I feel like I'm missing out. It's an amazing thing.
It's just one
I'm
of
so
those-
glad that somebody is doing something like that.
And I'm gonna try to keep it annual.
Yeah.
And the nice thing I tried to do with it is, so you see them, you see everyone doing grow events and stuff like that. A lot of them are, you got to buy a clone, you got to pay in $100, you got to pay in $200, this, that. Okay, some people can afford it, some people can't. Some people have the room, some people don't at the time.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, well, if I made it that we took a mini bucket and you use the seeds you had, that allows everyone to get in.
It's pretty affordable.
That's $2 for a bucket.
Yeah.
And
a couple bucks for soil.
How much room does it take in a grow tent, really?
Yeah. And then, you know, you already have the newts for your regular stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
So it took off, and yeah, we got people all over the world.
I know. It's amazing,
it's
bro.
Insane.
It's amazing.
So...
I'm loving watching it from the sidelines right now. I'm going to do my best to be part of it next year. We'll represent for the Legacy boys.
100%.
Throw it down. But it's crazy that you guys are doing that. And if not, I want to donate something for the prizes next time for sure.
No worries.
We'll do something.
We've got some funny ones coming up. So I let some of the people who donated stuff create their own like category.
Nice.
And they pick the winner. So once again, you know, I didn't want to make it a competition. I just wanted to make it a challenge because it's all going to be hard for us to grow in a mini bucket.
Of course.
I'm going to crown the biggest plant. I've got
a
couple nice stuff, but I had other people step up and say, hey, I want to donate some seeds or I want to donate a prize. And I'm like, cool.
For what? You got
to create. So I'm sitting in my head and I'm like, it's cool that we get 2 winners and then they get all the gear. Yeah. That's cool. But wouldn't it be better if we could spread that gear out?
Yeah.
You know, just because you grew a shitty plant, maybe you can get shittiest plant gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, don't you need the gear the most?
Yeah. Or so it allows people to create. I allowed them to create their own categories.
No, I like it.
And then pick the winner. So really all it does is say, hey, for example, Northern Scrogger says best mini scrog.
There you go.
So I said, okay, Northern Scrogger, he gets the credit.
Yep.
Right? He's
providing the prize.
And that way it allows a person providing the prize, they get the credit instead of me.
Yeah, dude, it's again, you're creating a bigger community out of it, and it's just golden. So briefly, let's get into how YouTube has been coming after you. Sorry, can I grab that lighter for you for a second? I forgot mine.
YouTube. I got deleted off YouTube for a cannabis review. No strikes.
No strikes.
No strikes. I got a warning right off the bat saying that it was I put the 18 plus on.
Yeah, which I always do.
Always did.
Yep.
And I got a warning right away, and it said, I forget what it said, and all of a sudden my channel was gone like that. I'd had no strikes.
Wow.
Prior to this. And they dropped my channel that day, so I was like, well, fuck it. I'll rebuild, like we all have to.
Yep.
But then I started thinking to myself, like, fuck, how did Drugs Inc. and National Geographic get away with this shit?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I thought for the first little bit, I'm going to just post, I started a new channel. I thought I'd just post normal stuff that we see, not cannabis related, right? Yep. And then I started looking at National Geographic more and more. And I'm like, how do they get fucking supported all the time? Never have any strikes on them, never get pulled down. And I started analyzing their content more. And it's that stupid little tiny disclaimer they use at the start of it all.
Yeah.
And I think that is the key we're all looking for.
Yeah.
That if we use a disclaimer, maybe it will help. But the other thing I heard the other day too, I was just talking about is with YouTube, they were talking about going to AI creators.
Yep. Which is going to screw everybody.
Which is going to screw everyone. So now we have a platform that's providing you or me with an AI program to build our own movies.
Yep.
But we don't get monetized.
Yeah. So they're just going to use our hardware and our work basically to make money for themselves.
For themselves.
Lovely.
But the other thing that's hard is, do you want to sit there and watch AI videos all day long on YouTube? No. YouTube was built on
creators.
On
actual creators. I completely agree. I think we all should boycott AI content. If it's 100, you can use AI to create. I have no problem with that. I use AI to create as well. We make clips with it. We do lots of stuff with AI. It's perfectly fine. But your content should be your content, not something that's just spat out. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think we should boycott it. Just don't engage. If it has the AI label, scroll past it.
Yes.
it's going to be better for everyone in the future.
I
But
don't.
I'm sounding like an old man, so
I mean, I sound like that too. But you said you do use AI a little bit for stuff.
yep.
What I run into, and I find I use AI. You want to create artwork and stuff like that too. AI is great, but at the same time, what I found with AI is it makes a lot of fucking mistakes.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to get it right.
It takes a lot of work to get it right, and that's the problem. So everyone's going, AI is great. I'm thinking to myself, I use it all the time, and it sucks.
Yes, it absolutely sucks.
And then Meta sucks
Yeah,
for picking up on all the shit that
absolutely. Absolutely. The amount of flags I have on stuff that shouldn't be flagged, the amount of times I've had to appeal, and then I win the appeal because just the AI grabbing it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with especially on Instagram, with what I post and what it says. We blank out the words cannabis. We make sure not to show too direct stuff because we don't want to get our shit taken down.
Yeah.
Even though we should be able to show that stuff, but that's a whole nother.
Mine got nailed the other day, and I figured it out. It's because I wrote root porn, and they flagged it for porn.
See, that's stupid AI stuff.
Yeah.
That's no person looked at that and was like, "Oh, that's porn."
Yeah.
No, it's a machine that saw a word.
Yeah.
And
So
it flagged it. So now you don't get shown in the algorithm for 3 to 5 days while you have to appeal, and there's no one you can call and talk to. It's all just robots on the back end. It's super frustrating as a creator. So I feel for you on that.
and I feel I feel it's the same way with YouTube. Especially the hardest part, and I mean you guys are right there with me,
YouTube
is
is the hardest one.
we do cannabis content, and it's the same thing with Instagram, and they don't want to show the 18 plus content.
Yep.
When I open up YouTube, on my TV or on my tablet or whatever, it's always recommend some stuff, but it doesn't recommend the 18 plus.
Even though my account's 18
18
plus. Yeah, no, you're right. And
Yeah.
even if okay, then I should be able to advertise to 18 plus,
Yeah.
but you just block my advertisements completely.
Yeah, and I feel like the stuff doesn't get shared.
It doesn't. It
No.
doesn't.
And
Absolutely.
It's the
It's
same
rough.
thing with Instagram.
So Spotify is apparently getting better.
They are.
They just signed a deal. Well, not just, but a bit ago, they just signed a deal with Dope is Yola, which is the biggest cannabis podcast. I think they're the biggest. It's either that or First Smoke of the Day, but in the States, and they signed a deal. So now he's a Spotify partner,
Oh, sweet.
which means they just partnered with a cannabis podcast, which means they can't have a problem with cannabis content. So I'm trying to figure out how to convert things. If you're watching on YouTube right now, check us out on Spotify. They show way more love.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to figure out, that conversion, so we can get out there more. But yeah, man, it's rough.
It's
rough.
hard. It's really hard doing cannabis content, as you know, right?
So what is next for you? You have the jewelry stuff, you have the cannabis, the growing. What do you got coming next?
Everyone always is, what's next, and sometimes I always say I'd like to have a vacation next.
Yes, I mean, I just got back from one, so I feel you.
But what's next is just continue my growing.
Yeah.
I think I've got a couple things planned in the future.
Yep.
Maybe taking some of my products to store with some other people,
Be
but
awesome.
I'll sort of, I'm not
Release that as it comes.
Yeah,
man.
release
I love
that as
it.
it comes,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, there's been some talks with some other people, getting my stuff onto the legal market.
Yeah.
Working with some more, or not legal market, onto the legacy market, and working with some more legacy market people.
Dope.
The
I
other
saw you collabing with family. As we were talking
Yeah,
about.
I will be working with family more.
Yeah.
And the other one coming forward is I'm going to be the new ambassador for Pink Kush Factory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll be doing some wholesaling for them up in the Muskoka area
Wow.
too.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I just
awesome.
I just closed that thing on Friday.
Well, congratulations,
Yeah,
man. That's
so,
awesome. That's awesome. Big news.
And some more digital artwork, like moving forward with my artwork. Did a bunch of stuff for Unit 15, so you're gonna see some more artwork coming forward. But you never know what the year brings.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Anyone you want to shout out? Any last minute thoughts?
I'd love to give a bunch of shout outs. The family.
Yes.
You know why about the hash, 100%.
And the ampersand.
And the ampersand. I didn't even get into that. I've got some here
fire.
with me.
New age shit. Check it out.
Yeah, you want to get that. Love to give a shout out to Unit 15. Matt over there, you're amazing. And I mean, I'd love to thank you guys for having me down. I'd love to thank the guys at Canacrawl. It was my first one last year.
Anthony and Rena.
Oh,
big
just
shout outs.
Absolute great people, great experience. I'd love to shout out AC Infinity.
Yes.
Seedsman too.
Huge.
Both of been there with me since Chicago school.
That's awesome.
So, and anyone else I'm missing? Well,
It's love.
it is. There's
The
a
hardest
lot of
thing
people.
about shout-outs is you're always like, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
I could say 1,000 people. You know what I mean?
And it would never be all of them.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
That's good, bro. It shows love.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And to all the whole cannabis community, you guys fucking rock.
Yes, you do.
You
yes,
fucking
do.
rock, and we wouldn't be here without you guys.
Yes, absolutely, man. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming down. It was a pleasure. Always. There's too much hand gesture.
I know.
To do.
That's the one me and my buddy do.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, fuck.
Like, I don't know.
Awkward.
To everyone watching, if you enjoy what we're doing, make sure to like, follow, and share on YouTube at High Passion Pod and on Instagram and Spotify at High Passion Podcast. If you want to keep up with our guest today, drop them a follow on Instagram at Muskoka_grower. I want to give a huge shout out to Sean Sweeney at SeanCS10 for everything you do for the podcast and making this all happen. And to all our viewers, I hope you tune in next time. Until then, stay positive and stay passionate.